talked a little bit earlier about getting some of these younger guys in the developmental scrimmages, and I think Mondays after practice, you guys usually run the dirty show.
Right.
What have you seen about that, and why, giving them the additional reps during the bye week and everything?
Right. Well, we think it's really important. We didn't do this last year, and so this was one of our brainstorming sessions in the off season. We felt like this was something that could really help our football team for a lot of reasons, to develop depth, to see the improvement of the younger players, also to maybe make up for the lack of bowl practices. Not having bowl practices where you can get a bunch of practices there when you're getting ready for a bowl if you were to qualify for a bowl. So, we decided to do this. So we on Mondays, like you said, on after practice, we've run probably a total of 300 plays already this year. And it's not just dirty show, Audrey. It's we have guys in that scrimmage that are backup guys on Saturdays that play for us on Saturdays that are getting meaningful reps in that thing too. It's very competitive. The coaches compete. The guys have a lot of fun with it. We crank the music, and you can see guys getting better and better with it. So, we think it's been very productive for us.
So, two-part question for you. Saturday night, did you watch Yale? Did you watch Harvard Brown? Or did you watch Ohio State, Wisconsin?
I flicked back and forth. I was at a Little League game that lasted 4 hours in Lewistown. I mean, it was unbelievable. And then I came home. I think LSU Georgia was on. That was a great football game, one of the better games I've seen. And then the Brown game was on at 7:30, and the Ohio State Wisconsin game was on at 8. And I flipped back and forth. Probably watched more of the Ohio State Wisconsin game.
Second.
My dad was at the Brown game, so he gave me the up.
Bill, not specific to the Indiana game, but just the entire season. How much do your grad students or anybody else, what would they do in terms of putting the game plan together for the scout team? And then also, do they factor in some of your tendencies that you mentioned earlier, things that you guys do?
Yeah, our graduate assistants do a great job. Those are thankless jobs. They don't make a lot of money, and they're trying to climb up the coaching ladder. And all of our graduate assistants will eventually be full-time coaches somewhere. They're really good, sharp guys. So yeah, they basically, we start our meetings at 2:45, and then we're out on the field at 4:20 for quarterback center exchange. And around 4 o'clock, both dirty show teams are out there with the GAs on the other side of the ball. Defensive GAs take the offensive scout team, offensive GAs take the defensive scout team, and they're going through the plays that they're going to run versus the offense and defense. So it's very much of a little bit of choreography there that goes into getting those guys ready for practice. And then with the cell scout, the GAs put all that stuff together, and a lot of times, we miss something, they point it out to us. Hey, look, coach, you better be careful on this P and 10, which is the first play of a drive. You're always doing this, or things like that. So they're instrumental in our whole operation.
Bill, what's the reaction been amongst recruits since the sanctions have been reduced?
Well, I think it's been positive. I've talked to a few of them. We're only allowed one phone call a week right now. I believe it's been positive. And again, it's positive news for Penn State. Our guys feel really good about it here. Our coaching staff, we're very, very focused on Indiana. Our players, I wouldn't even bother asking our players about that. They won't answer it, I promise you. So, I just think that our guys are pleased with the news, but we're very focused on the Indiana game.
And then you have 2 games and then another bye. Do you push these guys any harder knowing that there's another bye week 2 weeks away?
Yeah, that's a good question. We pushed them pretty hard last week. So last year during our first bye week, we practiced 3 times. Last week we practiced 4. And 3 of those practices we were in full pads. So we practiced pretty hard. We practiced hard last night. We went to a little bit of a longer Monday practice because we had the bye week. Now, all of that's predicated on where you are injury-wise. You know what I mean? So once we get to the next bye week, which is I think after Michigan, we'll have to, again regroup there and see where we're at and see how hard we can go.
Hey Bill, with Miles Diffenbach, he seems like always a pretty positive guy, and I know he won your commitment award in the spring with Mike Hull. Well, how does his attitude kind of help shape the offensive line, would you say?
Every team needs a Miles Diffenbach. He's a good player, he's a good student, he's a very, very good guy, and he's very funny guy. He keeps it loose. He's got good timing, he's got a great sense of humor, he's got good timing with it. Just a good guy. Every good team that I've been around has a guy like Miles Diffenbach. So he does a good job. He's much improved player. He's one of our most improved players from last year. He's playing very well for us. Got to keep it going. Now's the true test in the Big Ten schedule. But he's had a really good year thus far for us. Another Pittsburgh guy.
Bill,
Those guys from Pittsburgh.
Go ahead. I thought you had ruled out Kaiser last week.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Neil. Yeah, he wasn't on here because he had. Yeah, he's out for the game. He could possibly be back from Michigan. My fault.
Okay. And the Little League
I'm
game,
not a doctor.
doubleheader in Lewistown?
No, it should have been though. I mean, it was unbelievable. It's actually a very good team they play on, state college team. And my kid's one of the youngest players on the team. They got a great coach, Greg Albert, who went to Penn State. They got a great coaching staff, so it's fun to watch, but it was a marathon.
Bill Obeng has proved himself a pretty versatile player. Stephen Obeng.
Yeah.
He's proved himself a pretty versatile player for you guys at a pretty key time. Can you remember back, whether it be in training camp or in spring ball, when you realized maybe he could be an option there at linebacker, and how did you kind of come to that conclusion?
Yeah, I think from the day we walked in here, it wasn't just last spring. I thought that he was a guy that was a definite, because of his size, speed, toughness, his instincts, that he could be a safety or linebacker from the day we got him when we started winter conditioning 20 months ago. He's a well-built guy. He's tough. He plays hurt. Just a great guy to have on the team guy. So we've always looked at him as a guy that could play either safety or linebacker.
could you assess what Ryan Kaiser being out means to the Sam Pickens kicking game? Obviously, Butterworth had a hold at the end of the Penn State game, but can you just assess what changing holders at this point could mean to the kicking game?
Yeah, I think we'll be okay there because Alex holds for Sam during practice. When they're out there, when obviously when Kais is playing safety. So, obviously Kais is our starting holder, and that's not easy when the holder goes out. But I think knock on wood, that we'll be okay there because Alex does that quite a bit with Sam.
You mentioned watching the Saints last night. How much NFL do you watch anymore, or did you just kind of take advantage of it because of the bye week?
Yeah, no, I watched like the first half of the game. I try to watch. Yeah, I try to watch. I mean, I have it on, or I'll get ready for Indiana, or maybe I'll take a 15-minute break and watch some of the things. I love watching the Saints offense. I think they do a fantastic job. So yeah, I watch